Hello, my name is Fernando. Today I'll be talking to you about the technical exposure laws uh, that to produce quality images. These are the 15% rule, the direct square law, inverse square law, the reciprocity law, and these are to determine good good quality images and to adjust the technical factors of the images. So uh, right, right now I'm gonna be talking to you about the reciprocity law, which is basically the relationship between the exposure factors to maintain the same density. So if you you have to the exposure factors will be MA, and the exposure time to MA times the exposure time will get you MAS. So if you decrease the MA to do a specific procedure, you have to increase the time to get the MAS. And the KVP you would have to keep it the same. So for the procedure that I'm doing is the calcaneus. Basically, you have to use half of the X-ray, the X-ray film, the cassette, X-ray cassette, and you collimate to get the calcaneus, and use your marker. Then you X-ray. Now, yeah, to get the other. The other half of the cassette. So you collimate within the you collimate the calcaneus to get the calcaneus. You put your marker. This is the second image. So on this image, you're gonna increase the MA to 300. And change here, setting, and you decrease the time to 1/120 to get to get the same density of 2.5, and use the same KVP. (50 kVp) and X-ray. Now I'm going to get the cassette to see what happens with the. See if we got the same image. How this law is used for to get a faster time for involuntary motion. So the benefits of the reciprocity law is to increase or decrease the MA or time for involuntary motion. To get a fast when you get to use a faster time you have in case you have involuntary motion of the patient. Look at the images that were done of the calcaneus. The both images, even though the MAS increased, the time increased. You still increase. You still have the same good quality image, and you still have a good density. You still have the same density. You're maintaining the density by increasing or decreasing the time or the MA. Now I'm going to explain what the 15% rule is. Basically, the 15% rule is how the KVP influences the radiographic density. Only if the KVP increases 15%, the radiographic density doubles, or if you decrease 15%, the radiographic density is half. Now, this is the image. The first image, the original image, it has 50 kVp and 2.5 MAS base, and then this is if you increase the kVp by 15%, 58 kVp, you have the same MAS, and it's a double optical density. It looks too dark. So, and then this one is the original mass is 50 kVp. No, the original kVp is 50 kVp, and the mass is 2.5. And you have this, and then this one you decrease by 15%, which is 15% kVp, 42 kVp, and the same mass, the image is underpenetrated, and it'll basically be half of the density. In order to maintain radiographic density, what happens to the KVP if you increase or decrease? If you increase the KVP by 15%, you have to decrease the mass by half, which is 1.25, which is half of the original density, which is 2.5. And if you decrease the KVP by 15%, you increase the mass by double the original mass, which is 2.5. And all these images produce the same radiographic density. All these 4 images here on top, too. And that's how you maintain the radiographic density with the 15% rule. Now I'm going to explain how the distance affects the radiographic density by the inverse square law. So I'm going to show you the procedure of the calcaneus. We're gonna use 40 inches SID, and you set up your calcaneus. You put your marker and you collimate the. So you use the 50 kVp, and you have 2.5 mass, and then the SID is 40 inches. X-ray. And now we're gonna put the cassette on the floor. We're gonna increase the distance. I'm gonna align the this is you. The distance is increased, and you keep the same. Keep the same exposure. Keep the same KVP and the same MAS, and this is what this is what the original the original one, 50 kVp, 2.5 mass, and it's a 40 inch SID. And if you increase the distance, the radiographic density decreases. So 50 kVp, 2.5 mass, and increase the SID to 72. So now I'm gonna show you that we're gonna increase the SID to 72, and in order to maintain radiographic density, you have to increase the MAS to 8.3, and to maintain the radiographic density. So I'm gonna be showing you on the. You basically keep the same KVP, but you increase the MAS to 8.3 in order to maintain the exposure time, in order to maintain the radiographic density of the distance when the distance increases. X-ray. So this is the original image. We use 50 kVp, 2.5 mass, and 40 inch SID. So when you increase the SID, you have to increase the mass 8.3. You keep the KVP the same. You increase the square of the distance to 8.3, and you have to, in order to maintain, you use the direct square law. In conclusion, these principles, reciprocity law, the 15% rule, the inverse square law, and direct square law, all are dealing with the factors of radiographic density, KVP, and distance, and their relationships to increase, decrease, or maintain radiographic density, KVP, or distance, and their final effect on radiographs and patient dose. My name is Fernando Montes, and thank you very much.